Hey guys, Ryan from Recovery Tattoo here. Um, I was planning on doing something a little different tonight, but I'm just getting a little bombarded with unfinished projects, and I don't like that. I don't like starting something and not finishing it. I don't do that on a person, so I would never, so I don't like it. So I spent the last couple of days filling in everything that needs to be filled in, relining things that need to be relined, things like that. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. Uh, Something else cool is this thing. You've noticed that I've done a couple of videos when I did it, but this has been my center workstation for all my skins for quite a while. It was one of my first like larger scale tattoos, and it's especially one of the most larger scale tattoos in color. Um, the only thing about this right here is this is a slab of true skin, which is, somewhat awesome to a degree because it has like the texture of skin. You can like see the little lines and stuff, but they're 3 millimeters or more thick, and some of the toughest silicone I've ever seen. So they're like the second most expensive skin because of supposed quality, but it doesn't take ink like skin does. You can't learn depth control because they're 3 millimeters thick, but they make good gifts and good tattoos, though, for sure. I only use real skin, fake skin. I've had these 3 slabs of true skin for over a year. Um, so I figured I'd just put a cool design, taking up the whole page. And that way I can have a couple of full page pieces, and then back to my real skin. I'm not gonna lie though, for the first time ever, I was checking out the Amala G4 tattoo machine, and I've heard a couple artists talking about it. Um, so Amala makes a bunch of things, but their tattoo machine is $1,200. You know, right there with the most expensive machines that exist. Same with Bishop. Same with FK Irons. Same with Acus. Same with most of them. The only two mid-grade machines that I can think of right now, price range, is the $500 OG Produce Fury 2, but it's only $500 when you get the Fall Harbor motor in it instead of the regular OG custom motor. And I got the Jason Ramos edition, fixed 4.2 millimeter stroke. It's quite an amazing machine so far. The only thing that I wish it had was Hertz mode. The Fury 1 had Hertz mode. Now we have a hard and soft hit mode. But it has been running pretty killer, and I'm very happy I got the Fall Harbor motor. Well worth the extra $100 for the most sought after and best tattoo engine or motor that exists, right? Okay, cool. So let me get this out of the way real quick so I can show you. So I might do something. Oh, you can't really see, but this is almost a full page piece. One of my largest color pieces I've ever done, and I'm pretty happy with it. I might put a rose, to fill up this corner, rose here, maybe some cherry blossoms, some clouds maybe going up. Either way, I want to be able to, if I'm using a full page, I want to fill the full page. But my point of that is that's been the center of my workspace for, months now. And this is going to be my new one. Check it out. Tell me that thing's not going to look so sick. That's a sick sugar skull. We got the black widow spiders on each end with the spider webs on the other ends. Flowers coming out of the ears. This is a really nice, this is one of my favorite sugar skulls I've ever seen. They didn't make it look all wicked girly. The only other thing is, I haven't decided if I'm going to do all black and gray or if I should do it in color. Obviously, I specialize in black and gray, but as you can see, I can do color too. So, the only thing with this one would be is I would have to look up a few things or just make up the color palette myself. I mean, there's not going to be too many. I could keep it to, you know, old school traditional colors. That way there's only, you know, a few to deal with. But I'll deal with that when we get there. I placed this last night, waited 24 hours, which we don't need to do, but I had plenty of other work to do. I let it sit, green soap spray, wipe down. That way it dimmed out the stencil. It's not blue like fucking that. So that's gonna be really, really fun. Probably start tomorrow or late tonight recording, doing this, at least the outline. It might take me a few sessions just for the outline, because the outline, I mean, I see at least 3 or 4 line weights here. You tell me if I'm wrong. Whoever's a tattoo artist and you're looking at this, there's at least 3 or 4 different colors in that if I'm going to do it in color. Definitely black, definitely red, definitely yellow. And maybe, I don't know. If you have any suggestions, leave them down there and let me know what you think. If someone has an idea for this whole piece, like color for color all the way through, get at me. I have no problem doing it in your vision too, to see how it comes out, whoever that may be. All right. Cool. Yeah. Like I was saying in one of my other videos, I'm putting my apprentice portfolio together, because in the state that I'm in, you have to get a body art license. You have to have gone through a 1-year-long, 1,500-hour apprenticeship. But you know, I work over 40 hours a week, and I have a 7-year-old and a dog. So I can't do the traditional apprenticeship as much as I would have loved to. I'm just not that age, and I have, you know, shit to pay for. I got to feed my kid, my dog, myself, pay my rent, pay heat. You know how life is. So anyways, how are we going to start? How do I want to start this? Okay, so what I want to do for tattooing while I'm sitting here is I want to finish the shading on this rose. I think this rose is coming out really cool, especially once the shading's in the leaves, all of them. Really cool. This sunflower is going to look really good too when it's all done, because I'm going to get rid of that blue and get textures in there and color it. And then once I bang that out, if I'm not finished telling the story I'm about to tell, I'm going to move on to the 2 patterns that we put on last night that I wasn't able to finish. All right. Over 9 minutes in of an introduction. I guess it could be worse. I would have liked less, but it's okay. Story shouldn't be too long. The thing is I don't like feeling like I'm rushing a story because I always think of things that I wanted to tell you guys or mention in the story. Always. Every single story I have up, there are like juicy details and other things that happened that you guys would want to hear about. And I don't want to make a whole video just to put in some more comments, you know? But whatever, here we go. All right. I don't know what I'm going to title this video, but maybe maybe 3 urines in 3 days at rehab. Something along those lines. Or, you know, rehab romance almost trips and falls on a 007 mission to try to save me and had unbelievable results with that. But anyway, that's the story I'm going to tell. I'm going to try to remember as much as I want. I might have to start taking notes or bullet points or something because I'm doing something else at the same time. I'm not just sitting here looking at the screen. So I definitely didn't tell you this story, right? I don't think so. I'm using the OG Fury 2 with the Fall Harbor motor, Jason Ramos edition, still chrome. I'm going to start off with a standard 3-round liner to put the veins in the leaves over here and to put the shading in the rest of the rows and the leaves over here. And I'll try to think of where I want to go from there. Okay, so I'm in rehab again. I can't remember if this was the second or third time that I had either taken off or got kicked out and had to go to jail and then get out of jail right to the rehab. Like, my family wasn't allowed to even drive me. Like, they made the sheriffs drive me. Anyways, so I pull up to this one rehab in the city. And this specific rehab exists still, but it's not where it used to be. And it's not co-ed anymore either. It was co-ed when I was there. And right off the side of the main street of a city. All there was like a 4-foot long fence, maybe 6 feet tall, blocking the sideway and the smoking yard. The sidewalk and the smoking area. It was insane. Anyways, right? So I get out of jail and have to go straight to the rehab, right? In a sheriff's car, handcuffed and everything. So I pull up to this rehab, and of course, the front of it's got this big bay window. I don't know anybody there. And everybody's staring at me because it's the cop car that just pulled up and I'm the one getting out. And so whatever, I get in there. To be honest, this was my early 20s, so the only thing I really gave a shit about was being able to smoke cigarettes and if it was co-ed or not. But let me reiterate every single time, I don't want people getting the wrong idea. I've never ever had intercourse at any of the 5 rehabs I've been to. I'm just not a one night stand type guy. I'm not the kind of guy who sleeps with girls when they just meet them. I'm just not. I never have been. I take pride in that, even though every guy says that, but that's a fact. You know, for me, you won't find a girl who says, I had a one night stand with her. You won't find anything like that because it's just not in me to do it. It's impossible. So, anyway, get out of jail. And I knew that I was going to that rehab from the jail. I knew what day and all that bullshit, right? So I had everything dropped off at the jail for me, like my clothes and my hygiene and my cartons of cigarettes. You know, everything I was gonna need or want, I had dropped off while I was at the jail, so I could bring it right with me to the rehab, right? So, and I had in my wallet, I happened to have $30 exactly in cash. I don't know why I had it, but it must have just been what was in. Oh, because it was on my books. That's why. So I had $30 on my books, and I was getting released, so they got to give that to you. And so, boom, he hands me a 20 and a 10, and this you're gonna find out in a minute why this is so weird and ironic that this happened. So, boom, right? I get to this rehab. I get all the oohs and ahs from the fucking girls and guys because I'm getting out of a fucking cop car in handcuffs like I'm the, you know, like I'm the Hannibal Lecter and I'm just going to rehab. And so, you know, I was there for a few days getting settled. This was the one time I wasn't dope sick because I had been in a jail for the county jail for quite a bit. When you're in state prison, you can, if you got enough money, you can hold a habit. And it ain't fucking cheap, and it ruins relationships and families because you're begging for money all the time. And it's not even something you're trying or meaning to do. You just get caught up. And when you get caught up, you have no one else to talk to or ask except for the people that care about you. Anyways, so a couple days, this girl walks in and I recognize her from a different rehab I went to, right? Ways before this. And she recognizes me too. We never like we she had a boyfriend at the last place that we were at and all that. And she was PHP, not in the actual residential program like I was at that time when I met her. This time, she was RTC with me. So anyway, whole point is she's only in there because she had a warrant or something, so she needed somewhere safe to be. Funny but not funny, I was only there because the judge was making me. Right? So so boom, so we find out that neither one of us are there because we want to be, right? That's the whole point. And so she's from that area. All of her friends are in that area. That's, her area. So one of her girlfriends comes and sees her like maybe 3 days later. And she leaves her visit and comes and finds me and tells me that her friend is there visiting her and she's got an entire script, a whole script, so a full bottle of Valium, which I don't know, Valium messed some people up, but for me, I have to eat 20 of the 10s to even feel anything, and I'm not joking. 10 milligrams for Valium isn't a high milligram. Valium is like on the lowest spectrum of benzos that exist. That's why they make 10s. Because one 10 milligram Valium is maybe the equivalent to a quarter of a milligram of Xanax or Klonopin. A quarter of 1 milligram. I had this argument the other day with somebody. They're like, nope, it's 10 milligrams. You're getting wasted no matter what. I'm like, you just don't understand. Forget it. So anyways, she's telling me a whole bottle for $30. That was the funny part. Right? That was the exact amount of cash that I had brought there. And I didn't need cash for anything because I showed up with, 6 laundry bags of clothes, MP3 player, alarm clock, 4 cartons of cigarettes. I was good. I just happened to have $30 on me. And the very first weekend with visitations, this girl who's trying to get with me at the time comes over telling me that she can get a whole bottle of Valium thrown over the fence for us in about 20 minutes if I give her the money to give to her. And I was like, yup. I didn't think about that twice for a fucking millisecond. And I was on probation. Any fuck up meant I was getting sent out of there in handcuffs. But that didn't stop me for a millisecond. I passed out that money faster than I walked in the door. It's how sick addiction is. But anyways, so guess what happens 10 minutes later or so? Right over the fence, whole bottle of Valium. So I give a few out to my boys, I give a few to her, but I still know how I am with Valium at that point. I knew I need a lot. So I ate basically the rest of them. Got a good buzz for the night anyways. And everything seemed to be going good, Everything seemed to be going good. And one day my counselor, I'm walking down to like lunch or dinner or some shit. My counselor stops me in the hallway and she's like, hey, can I see you for a minute? And this was, I remember like it was yesterday. It was exactly 9 days since I had taken those pills. 9 days. And I was clean beforehand and was clean after. And she also grabbed 2 of my boys that got high with me that night. So I let them go first because I wanted to see what the results were going to be. First guy comes out, clean. All right, cool, thanks. And they let him go. My other boy comes out. He's fucking clean. They haven't told us what they're looking for or anything. So I always have stage fright and gnarly bullshit, right? So since my 2 boys just passed, I'm not even trying to think about how to beat it. I'm just thinking, let me make sure I can get this piss off instead of getting in trouble for not peeing. You get in just as much trouble for not peeing is if you were to melt the entire cup dirty for everything. So I pee. No, 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 no. See, that's what I'm talking about with telling stories later at night. Pertinent information, guys. Ready? So my counselor's got us in there. My boys pee, they pass, so they can go. Right now, I'm like, I was just telling my counselor because I was just sitting there. I was like, listen, I really wasn't ready. I just peed right before you got me. Is there any way I can just go to dinner and come back right after dinner and we'll do it then type thing? And she fucked up and said okay. And so that gave me enough time to go get a travel size shampoo container and get one of my boys pissed that I know just passed the test. No, see, I gotta rewind. I left out a fucking important part. I might not tattoo unless I make notes. I might not tattoo and do story time unless I make notes because I'm sick of forgetting really fucking cool details. And I always think about them after I fucking shut the camera off. Damn it. Anyways, so we all get faded that night, whatever. We're feeling good. 10 days go by. They grab me and the two guys that I hung around with the most. They both passed. And so I'm not worried. I just down water until I have to pee, right? So I pee, but then it was like dinner time immediately or something. I don't know. I think that's what it was because I rushed out of the office right after setting the cup down. I did nothing about waiting for results or nothing. So the day goes on. I don't hear anything. So what am I going to think? That it was all set, right? But let me tell you the truth right now. I've never passed a drug test in my entire life up to that point in my life. Ever. Ever. Not when my dad surprised me when I was a kid. Not any parole or probation check-in. Never. So my point in saying that is my counselor leaves and never talks to me. So I mean, I just was assuming I was all set because if I failed, they would have came and got me, right? But no, this is how it goes down, right? There was this chick who worked at nighttime. She was a little shit too. Older than me at the time, but probably my age now. And she brought up how me and my friends got a piss test that day, right? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, first piss test I've ever passed in my whole life. And she didn't say anything about me passing it. I just wanted to fucking hear it, right? And I told her, I was like, I'm not trying to be weird, but I've never ever passed a drug test or a urine test in my whole life. This would be the very first one. Can you just please tell me? Just say the words so it clicks in my head and that it's real, right? This is what I'm telling her. And she goes ahead and fucking confirms that I passed and that I was all set, right? I was happy. I wasn't too surprised because I was able to get the pee off and both my boys were clean. I mean, See, I'm speaking too fast, getting ahead of myself. My two boys passed, and we all did it on the same night. We were clean beforehand and after. So, one second, guys. My son's mother's calling me. Gotta make sure this is an emergency. Hey, guys. All right, so